Hello, I'm Chandu Nair handling the course on marketing management. Now we're going to talk about again a very interesting and a very emerging area, the area of public relations and publicity. In the fourth P of promotion, this is becoming increasingly an important weapon in the arsenal of marketers. It has not been used so much in the past, but over the last few years it's gaining in importance and it's gaining in visibility, especially in India. So let's take a look at what we will cover in this chapter. We will understand first and foremost what is the meaning and scope of publicity and public relations, its relationship and function with other integrated marketing communication tools, what are the specific functions of PR as it is known for short, the different models, what exactly is the difference between advertising and publicity, and building a brand versus business building, the different kinds of tools that one can use. So as you can make out, public relations covers a fascinating range of topics, but it's important for us to first and foremost understand what exactly is this creature. So this is really a deliberate, planned and sustained effort to establish and maintain mutual understanding between an organization and its publics. Now here the word publics is quite distinct from the word general public, because it includes a wide range of constituents and stakeholders, and we will understand some of these constituents and stakeholders in the future slides. It's practiced as a discipline, as a function by an entire gamut of entities, different kinds of companies, trade associations, not-profit organizations, governments and so on. The key idea is to create a positive goodwill and image in the minds of its stakeholders. And in the US particularly, the aspect of public relations has been around for quite a while, and in some places in fact the word public relations is also intertwined with another word called lobbying, and which sometimes has not a very favorable impression. So what really are the objectives of this emerging area as far as India is concerned? First and foremost, as we've seen earlier, is to create goodwill in the minds of your stakeholders. It's very important for today's companies and especially organizations to create and maintain a favorable image, because there are a lot of benefits to be reaped from having a favorable image. People are more willing to listen to your side of the story. Many times it also helps in having a good and favorable image amongst the employees, and it can prevent and resolve labor issues. So it's a vital tool for employee relationships, especially for large companies who are widely dispersed, not just around the country but even across the globe. Tata Group is a good case in point. It has now locations all over the world and different kinds of industries. And many of us will recollect that the 26/11 attacks, or the Mumbai terror attacks, where the Taj Hotel was badly hit, the kind of response that the Taj employees and the management displayed, the kind of behavior, enhanced its image in the eyes of the general public, as also in the eyes of many different stakeholders, for example customers and so on and so forth. It also will foster a favorable relationship with the communities in which the organization has units. For example, a large factory is situated usually in a fairly backward area in India, and it's important for that large organization to have a good relationship with the villages and the communities around. In the city of Jamshedpur, again to take the Tata example, Tata Steel has a widely regarded image because it has not just set up a factory, but it has also set up educational institutions, it has also got hospitals, it has a whole kind of infrastructure created. Many public sector units like BHEL, SAIL, SAIL have all done the same in several places across the country, from Trichy to Bhilai to Rourkela to Haridwar. So it's very important for an organization to have good relationship with the community that it is working with. Many times it also helps in educating the public about the use of a product or about a certain point of view. You can take not-for-profits like Greenpeace or Transparency on the one side, or even the government which wants to explain, or even companies which want to tell you why a particular situation has happened and what they are planning to do about it. Plus, it's a very good way to attract the best kind of talent. And there are several other situations under which public relations can be used as a very powerful tool. There are various types of public relations, and in the past, mostly public relations has typically been used only as press relations, which is having a good relationship with the media. Today, of course, it's gone far beyond that. But a lot of people tend to confuse public relations only with having good relationships with various arms of the media, with journalists and correspondents and what have you. So that's why you find media relationships right at the top. But other constituents are there, like employee and labor relations, financial relations. Today, many companies, for example, Reliance, has huge number of shareholders. It's vital for those companies to maintain good relationships with those who are interested in investing in the company and staying invested in the company, because it's vital for the company to get money to grow and expand its businesses. It's also important for a company to have good corporate relationship with vendors, potential vendors, with other kinds of influencing bodies, be it regulatory, governmental, trade associations, and so on and so forth. Now, some interesting characteristics of public relations, and you can compare and contrast it with other promotional vehicles that we've seen, like advertising or sales promotion. One thing is, it can be relatively low cost, and sometimes it can be really low cost, especially considering the emergence of new age tools like blogs and other kinds of social media. So it can be pretty low cost. Secondly, it can be highly targeted. For example, if I just want to have something where I'm looking at getting a favorable image via the press, and I'm only targeting the business press, it can be very targeted in 3-4 key cities and a set of correspondents and a set of influencers. So it can be very selective, it can be very targeted. Thirdly, if it's especially done by a third party source and not by the company, seen as coming from the company directly, it can carry much higher credibility than, say, an advertisement can do. The fourth issue is that therefore it is also quite difficult to control, because you have no direct control over what X or Y is writing or saying about you. And sometimes what happens is, if there's an overdose, it can become a bit too saturated. For example, if you take somebody like Virgin in the UK, people expect Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin, to behave in a certain fashion and to do something out of the box and something, completely bizarre at times. Now, if it goes sometimes very off, if it's the same kind of thing happens too often, people may just say, oh, it's just one of those things, and may not pay it much heed. So it has to be a weapon that's used pretty carefully.